help us, man. Marching ain't gonna help us, man. Protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man,
me.
this shit ain't no joke, man, this shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, H-E-L-L, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast when the landlord talking about breaking our lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke up with your boy and she did it in a text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in a pen trying to find a way out. Lord forgive me for my sins when my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them not astray. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in trouble always stay near. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Guess we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Nah, I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me.
like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success ain't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the Most High's the reason. But my heart's bleeding through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you was sleeping during the evening, for brothers got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets left leaking. Laid out white sheet, mom's grieving. All lives gotta have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time that she's speaking. Talking like she gonna take the kids as she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end. Sink or swim, lose or win, saint or sin. Where does the change begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work and just do it again. Damn. Can't pretend, cause when you stand out, it's hard to blend. And what I stand for, don't fold the bend. Cause I heard real folks still got too many friends. Cause when you speak the truth, then you tend to offend. So, while I'm gripping this pen, Lord, please have mercy on me, amen.
It's time for my people to come together and rise up. The only way we gonna take our royalty back, man, is if we do just that, man. Take it back. Kwame Yashala, nigga. Time for us to rise out of our oppression. A wise man told me each one teach one. So I need you to reach out to your brothers and sisters and teach them, man. There's no reason we should still be getting hung from trees in this day and age, man. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Yeah. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. I live.
America, KKK, land of the good smokers, home of the slaves. and I'm just trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Can I live my dreams on this earth? Since I was young, I realized I had a destiny bigger than the fake shit that's disguised what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that be the death of me. As of late, since we've been hypnotized since elementary, thought it was my skin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate me because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Healers, teachers, deities, not all of them were kings and queens. Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All the rules connected, always more to learn of that, you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better before you hit your bed. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live, Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yo.
Can I live?
They say my rhymes cause too much excitement. Ride incitement, shit, well there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded. So we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way, little nigga. I ain't taking shit from no tars. And ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from marching, begging for portions. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big payback. You crackers got red in your margins, why? They broke every treaty, slaughtered the buffalo, and then they set fire to teepees. They carved their face in mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis, it's a skeevy. We been getting robbed, yeah, we're the ones who stay behind bars. They take all our money, but they ain't wanna give us no jobs. Wasn't supposed to make it, but we stayed defying the odds. It's like we really only living off the grace of our God. Can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? Yo, can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin.
Okay.
There's a king that's coming back to save our people. Now we should be preparing ourselves for the return of our king, not stuck up in these denominations and religions that's destroying our people and destroying our nation.
So when we are in this kingdom and our brother and sister is doing wickedly in this kingdom, we must tell them, look, the world is expecting you to stay docile, to stay stupid.
That's what Christianity teaches our people. Teaches our people to hate one another and love the oppressor. Like, we'll never forgive one another for anything that another brother or sister do to us, but we'll forgive the oppressor in a heartbeat. There's something wrong with that, man.
Imagine living your life as a whole Christian your whole life, and life's good because you're a Christian and Jesus is white and everything's going great, and there's a landslide and the earth opens up and you go downstairs and you walk through this place and you see a black Jesus, man. Why is Jesus Christ black with an afro in the catacombs, man? This predates the Renaissance period.
So when you read the book of Genesis, the trees in the garden with other nations, Right.
A leaf, what are the leaf roots of a tree?
Yeah,
Cover the tree. So Adam took the covering of another nation. What's the covering of another nation? Their culture. So when the Most High saw him and said, yo, Adam, where are you, man? Why are you? Don't mean I can't find you. He was like, who is this nigga? Like that. Where are you, man? I don't know you.
Okay. So the ba al banya yasha'ala wa amarath alham wa idea yahaw. The ba means speak. Al, when it's joined with something, so al banya means what? Unto. Right? Excellent. So al when it's joined with something means unto. Banya means children. Yasha'ala is Israel. So unto the children of Israel.
Like if it's one thing a hoe gonna do, a hoe gonna hold. But you ain't, she can't hold if there's nobody to hold with. And the thing she said at the end, where she said, I went back and I lied to him and he still wouldn't do it. And then she threw up her hands and she said, well, he'll just be a brother. That's what he need.
That's
brothers.
right.
If we have more brothers, hoes like her wouldn't have no outlet.
There was a man in the land of Oz, his name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright.
There you go, the man called Job. I think Job is what, that afflicted. And that man was perfect and upright, meaning what? You can be perfect, man. Job was a man like everybody else, man. Job wasn't no angel, he didn't come from the heavens, and that man was perfect, meaning what? You can be perfect in the Bible. Being perfect is in the Bible.
Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all know Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain above 50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause them niggas getting foul, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. With a mean flow.
I just float with it. Fuck what you did, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something, take a note with it. Dedicated my life, I took an oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do no switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me, do you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck with 4 collisions. Pose everywhere, but they ain't gon' vote dissing. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatham to all my brothers, Yahweh Shema Allah Damba Shem Yahushua to all my sisters, Shalom YouTube, Shalom TikTok, Shalom wherever y'all watching. I appreciate y'all tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who we got on the live. We got Sister Sha'ara, Shalom sis, Yahweh Shema Allah Damba Shem Yahushua. We got Sister Nazama Nah, Shalom sis, Yahweh Shema Allah Damba Shem Yahushua. We of course got Caroline in the cut, Shalom Princess, Yahweh Shema Allah Damba Shem Yahushua. We got my brother Adolphus last right here. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. All right, Most High Christ. Shalom to everyone watching on the YouTube. I can't pull up the comments on the TikTok, unfortunately, but I see y'all in here. I see Caroline in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like the video, drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? Do what it do. Let's get into tonight's story. Also, Salakia, before we get into it, so Real-Time Revelations is a show I do every Monday and every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. You know what I'm saying, UK time. So make sure y'all tune in. You know what I'm saying? So for this class, this show, and Thursday, and you know, every Monday and Thursday, I'll be here. All right, no sweat. So of course we're gonna get into the story. Something I seen recently on my Instagram. I'm just scrolling on Instagram. I come across this story, and you know, it just made me think like when it comes to this oppressor, they will find a black man to blame for anything, something that has nothing to do with black people. They will find some black man to blame or attempt to incriminate. That's this is the story that I stumbled on. Of course, I'm going to share my screen. You know. Let's see what it is that I'm talking about for y'all. For those who might not have seen, you know, I tend to put out promos to like tease the episode. But if y'all ain't see it, you know what I'm saying, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and share it. All right. Let me run this from the top.
Marcus Rashford speaks out as he claims that a tabloid newspaper has threatened to publish a photo of him with a rapper convicted of murdering a teenage boy. The statement on Rashford's Instagram story explained that he had been contacted by a tabloid informing him that they planned to publish a photo of him with a rapper apparently taken over a year ago.
So he's saying, you know, he got contacted by some news outlet, some tabloid, saying that they kind of threatened him to post a picture that apparently, there's a picture with Marcus and some rapper, who is a criminal called 10, right? Apparently there's some picture with him and Marcus Rashford, which doesn't surprise me because Marcus Rashford is a famous footballer. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into that later. But they're threatening to post this picture with him and this 10 with Marcus Rashford and this 10 guy, to make it seem as if they know each other or they're buddy, or as if Marcus Rashford has anything to do with this person. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't. And it comes on the back of this guy who's making songs referencing the crime that he committed. And we're gonna get into the crime he committed. We're gonna get into that later on. All right, but this is, this is what made me stumble. You know what I'm saying? This is what made me stumble upon this story.
My deepest sympathy goes to the family of Jimmy Misen, Rashford added at the end of his message. Rashford mentioning Misen's name gives a strong indication that the United star is talking about allegedly being photographed with Jake Fari, a rapper who performs with a balaclava and goes by the stage name 10. Fari was sentenced to a minimum of 14 years in prison in 2009 for killing the 16-year-old schoolboy Misen in May 2008.
So in 2008, this Jake Fari guy, who was 19 at the time, he unalived this 16-year-old boy. What's his name? What was it again? Jimmy Misen, or some Misen. What's his name? Oh, they just said Misen. His
Boy
name,
Misen in May 2008.
I forget what his name is. I think it's Jimmy. Something like. Let me see. Let me find it. He keeps saying just Misen in the. Anyway, whatever his first name is, he unalived this young white boy, and went to prison for 14 years. So he got the life sentence, and then got it shortened to 14 years and came out. He come out recently. He's starting to make music. He started his music career while he was in prison, and now he's coming out making music, of course, referencing his crimes, like every rapper seems to do for some reason, just referencing the crimes that you committed, and now you're just right back. You're on your way back into the prison. All right. But that this is the story that these tabloids are trying to link Marcus Rashford with. All right, Marcus Rashford, who is a footballer, who was nothing to do with this murder, nothing to do this unaliving. Salaki for the TikTok. Don't shut me down. I know you shut down in America a day ago. Don't shut me down. The UK was still rocking and rolling. All right, but Marcus Rashford has nothing to do with this person who unalived this rapper. Like, there's nothing to do with it. All right, so let's get into this story. Let's get into the story about this Jake Fari. All right, so I got this article right here. It says Marcus Rashford issues statement over tabloid photo with rapper. All right, so United forward Marcus Rashford. For those of you might not know who Marcus Rashford is, if you don't watch football or soccer, if you're American. Marcus Rashford, famous, football player, he plays for Manchester United, one of the most famous teams in the world. All right, this is a very high-profile individual. All right, many people know about Marcus Rashford. Okay, he has issued this after claiming that a photo of himself alongside a rapper is set to be published by a British tabloid newspaper. The image has not been published as of 7 p.m. on Thursday evening, but the reference to Jimmy Misen, that's his name, Jimmy. I got it right. Jimmy Misen in Rashford's statement suggested the rapper in the photo is UK drill artist 10. If any of you don't know what a drill artist is, drill artists and drill music is damn near just murder music. It's just talking about the crimes you commit, the people you've unalived, and how it very much glorifies violence. So this 10, whose real name is Jake Fari, some old Turkish guy, a 35-year-old, so he's now 35, who was jailed for life with a minimum term of 14 years in 2009 for Misen's unaliving. Fari, then 19, threw an oven dish at Misen, which shattered and severed blood vessels in the 16-year-old's neck in a South London bakery. So this man threw some Pyrex oven dish, like one of them glass pans, threw it at this man's head, and it shattered and severed, blood vessels in his neck, sliced him open. Like, damn. Now let me get into, so let's get into this Jake Fari story. Let's get into it. This is the story that they're trying to, they're trying to link Marcus Rashford to, because there's allegedly a photo of them together. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna read this article. So in fact, this is a video. All right, who is Jake Fari, aka rapper 10? Jimmy Mizen's unaliver who boasts about unaliving in rap lyrics. All right, let's go ahead and play this video.
She nice, she got another life. 2 kids, 3 beds, semi. He got left behind. It's a dirty game. Murder was the case. Got a 30 wreck hanging around his neck like a Cuban chain. For every season. Gave me all this pain, so
they're saying the rapper is being promoted by the BBC as a standout newcomer, despite his lyrics boasting about crimes. And they show this. This is the BBC presenter, BBC One Extra. This is Theo Johnson. Now I don't know if this is a brother or not. They ain't much out there on his history, but they're trying to link this unaliver, this person who goes around unaliving people and bragging about it. They're trying to link him with black people and kind of tarnish the relationship. It's not the relationship, the reputation, tarnish the reputation of these black people. But what they don't tell you is that when he was on the BBC, or when they, the music that they played, it had nothing to do with him unaliving or bragging about unaliving. They, like if you listen to the song that they play, like this is the clip they play when he was on, when he was featured on BBC One Extra. And this is again trying to slander, brothers and make them seem as if they're the one promoting violence and promoting, like as if we're the ones promoting violence and this sort of thing, when nothing is said about the Jewish man who owns all the music industry companies, all the labels, damn near, and he's the one that is really pushing this agenda of our sisters being whores and our brothers being violent and gang members and people who deal narcotics. Nothing is being said about those, but they'll try and, they try and found, they went and found this BBC interview where Theo hosted it, and he rapped nothing about murder or unaliving. He's trying to link him with this, which has nothing to do with that situation. He might not even known of this man's history because he goes by 10. You don't know nothing. You might not know anything about this Jake Fari. So how the hell are you trying to link him to, this whole situation? We just don't know. And none of the lyrics that they show is that he's bragging about unaliving this young white boy. None of those lyrics was in anything that was on the BBC. The fact they rummaged through whatever photos they could find and found a picture. They found a picture with a black man, Rashford. Let's get him. Let's post a picture of them together so it seems as if he's involved. Like, your oppressor is a vile person, man. Is a absolute vile person. Matter of fact, let me get this. Before we carry on with the video, let me get this scripture real quick. All right. Matter of fact, before we do that, let's play it just so I can show y'all. All right, since we're already here, let's read the scripture. It's like you. All right, this is Psalms 44 and verse 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen. There's, of course, this, I believe, is a King David talking about the Most High. The Most High has made us a byword among the heathen because we disobeyed him. All right, we have now become a byword among the heathen. The byword is something like you call in somebody out their name, or you use no word to insult. We're called N-word. We're called niggas. We're called spics and all these bywords that they throw at us. They call us coons and all manner of different slurs that they throw at us. They made us the Most High made us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people, a shaking of the head among the people, where now whenever any story to do with violence comes out, they're expecting it to be a black person. They're expecting it to be a black person, and when it isn't a black person, they make it about a black person. Because anything to do with violence and dealing drugs and this, that, and the third, it just has to be black people. It's always black people, isn't it? We become a shaking of the head among the people. These people who, people who have nothing to do with, gang violence or crime. You're thrown in with the lump, and then they just see, the general public, they just see a dark skin. They don't. If anyone who doesn't know who Rashford is, they just see him with this 10 guy and think, oh, well, he's a gang member. Or anyone who don't know who, Theo Baker is, or not Theo Baker, Theo Johnson is, or not listening to what was actually featured, which I'm gonna show y'all, what was actually featured on the BBC when they played his music. It has nothing to do with promoting the violence that they're claiming. But of course, they have to make it seem as if that's the case. I'm gonna play on in this. I'm gonna show y'all this. This is the clip that they're saying. The BBC radio promoted the music of this cold-blooded unaliver. Like, what is he talking? Let's see what it is they talking about.
I stood tall for every season. Gave me all this pain so I can understand the meaning. I don't understand the meaning yet. Is this really life for me?
So from those lyrics, did you hear anything about violence and not caring about the people you unalived and wanted to unalive more people? Like, did you hear anything about that? Or was he just rapping about like one of them uplifting rappers, or just really rapping about the life you've been through, which is a art form of expression. Like, it is, what he presented on the BBC was nothing to do with what they're talking about right now. But they're saying, drill rapper promoted by the BBC radio, and then they put this brother up on the screen if he is a brother. Like, what is we talking about? Let me play it one more time, because maybe I didn't hear it. Maybe I didn't hear the cold-blooded, murder lyrics. Maybe I didn't hear it. Maybe I'm tripping.
Is this really life for me?
Let me run it back a little bit. Let's
Is this really life for me?
This is what they put as they're saying, drill rapper promoted by the BBC. So this is probably the most so-called incriminating clip they could find, because of course that's what they're going to do. So let's see what it was that they found to say that this to say as if this brother was promoting this violent person, this violent Turkish criminal.
Like a Cuban chain. I stood tall for every season. Gave me all this pain so I can understand the meaning. I don't understand the meaning yet. Is this really life for me?
I heard nothing about violence. I heard nothing about the lyrics that they're showing. Like, even above right here, this is one of his. Jake Songs brags about seeing a man's soul fly from his eyes. I didn't hear that in the clip. I did not hear that in the clip. So again, they're just trying to push this agenda that as if we support violence, as if we support just criminal behavior. That's what they're trying to push. It says music videos posted to social media. Goes into the story about how he was handed a life sentence.
The remorseless murderer of schoolboy Jimmy Mizzen is being promoted by the BBC as a standout rising star drill rapper, despite.
And that's what they're saying. So on the BBC, where he did that rap about about his life and about whatever it was we just heard in the clip. That's what he was rapping about. And the guy on the BBC was saying, okay, this man has some talent. Like, he has musical talent. Okay, I guess he can rap. He can rap a little bit because he's clearly studied black people who are actually good at doing music. He studied us, you know what I'm saying? So of course, and then of course, they might say, he's an upcoming rapper. He's he stands out from the rest because there's so much music that sounds the same. Okay, this person might have a little something. He might have a little musical talent. But again, it's nothing to do with the violent lyrics that that they talking about now.
Despite his lyrics boasting of his crimes, Jake Farry was.
Yeah, they say they listen to how they present it.
Despite his lyrics boasting of his being promoted by the BBC as a standout rising star drill rapper.
So they say he's being promoted by the BBC as a standout. What they say? Something drill rapper. And then they say what?
Despite his lyrics boasting of his crimes.
Despite his lyrics boasting of his crimes. I didn't hear any lyrics boasting of any crimes in the clip they pulled. I didn't hear that. But you see how this oppressor tries to twist things to fit his agenda. Just to get, to get just more, because you're dealing with the people in the UK, you're majority white. So you're dealing with people that already just hate blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. So any way you can twist something to make it seem as if, this brother's doing this, or this brother's doing that, or this brother's involved with this person, the British public just gonna eat that up. They're gonna eat it up right away because they already predisposed to hate you. So again, you get this picture with apparently this man and Rashford, and now Rashford is associated with this criminal for people who already hate Rashford because he's black. Good night.
Jake Fari was handed a life sentence in 2009 for the savage murder of 16-year-old Jimmy in a London bakery in a crime that shocked the nation. The killer, who slashed the teenager's neck when he hurled a Pyrex dish at him, is releasing music under the stage name 10. The Sun can tonight reveal the murderer's new music career following an exclusive investigation. And we can also reveal how, in several of his 7 released tracks and freestyles on social media, Fari, who's now 35, repeatedly references the attack that saw him locked up, as well as carrying weapons, gang life, and being in prison. On one track, he raps, "Never understood a life till you took a life," while on another, he tells how he returned to a life of crime after promising his family he wouldn't. He raps, "Swing around a blade when I promised Mum I'd never touch a knife again." In freestyles to fans on his popular social media accounts, Fari's other lyrics include "Stuck it on a man and watched him melt like Ben & Jerry's," "Sharpen up my blade, I've got to keep those necessary," "Stay alert and kept it ready, any corner could be deadly," "Judge took a look at me before the trial even started, he already knows he's gonna throw the book at me." In another song called Juggy, he alludes to possibly lying during his 2009 Old Bailey trial, revealing, "I don't talk because I'm signed to the streets, went to court, put my hand on that book, and I lied through my teeth."
Of course, this Turkish man lied. Of course, that's all oppressors do. That's all you heathens do is lie. But you know what I'm saying? So of course, and that's just drill rap culture. For some reason, the only thing that is respected in drill rap is committing crimes, and then getting caught committing crimes and lying about committing the crimes, and it's just all to do with crimes. But you gonna say that the BBC or this brother, I'm gonna assume he's a brother. This brother Theo Johnson, they're saying you promoting the music and saying as an aspirational this, that, and the third, or upcoming what is it, new talent, something like that. Like you saying that, like what is we talking about? Those lyrics were not in any of the things that was featured on the BBC. So again, I don't know what exactly they're trying to say. Like this person, and okay, if you're gonna say the BBC are promoting this, then you need to speak to Spotify. You need to speak to whoever's running Spotify, whoever's running YouTube, who lets all these other videos about music videos and drill artists talking about their crimes and bragging about their crimes. You need to talk to Spotify and YouTube and every platform, every Jewish run damn media company who's promoting this music. But they wouldn't even, I'm sure they wouldn't even, if it was Charlie Sloth, that damn oppressor, you just bangs the explosion button 50 times, and apparently that makes you a DJ. if it was him, I don't even think they'd mention anything about the BBC. But they saw it was Theo Johnson. They saw it was a black person. So of course they're gonna run with that. Because they couldn't get away. They couldn't get away with saying like Charlie Sloth has had all manner of artists on his show. What's it, Fire in the Booth? There's all manner of artists who talk about all manner of things. And now Theo, has something similar, it seems. But now, now you're promoting a cold-blooded unaliver. Now they have a problem with it. There's absolutely a double standard, man.
Our revelation sparked outrage from knife crime campaigners and politicians amid fears violent drill rap is a catalyst for soaring blade offences in London. Jimmy's shocked mother, Margaret Mizzen, was awarded an MBE in 2013 for her work promoting peace in the wake of her son's killing. She said of the lyrics, "It's very difficult to comment until I have read it. But if this is true, I am very saddened as it will be a shock to the rest of my family. However, Jimmy's legacy of forgiveness, peace and hope, which we share in schools, will not change." The Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick added, "Licence fee payers will be horrified that the BBC is promoting music from a man who committed a murder which shocks Britain. By playing his music, the BBC are helping him make money from his crime. They must do more to ensure that they know exactly who they are promoting in their shows." Weed-smoking Fari, who flaunted a £2,000 Cartier diamond watch in some online videos, had previously picked on Jimmy's brother Harry. When the Mizzen family complained to the police, Fari was given a harassment warning, sparking a grudge, which he held until he committed the murder. During his trial, the jury heard how Fari wept as he told cops he was only acting in...
So they're saying, you know, that's some harassment thing on this Jake Fari guy, which is an absolute criminal and should be put in prison and taken off the streets because he is an absolute criminal. He should be taken and put away and locked up because he unalived somebody in cold blood. The Bible is absolutely against murder. He should be locked up and face his crimes. But even the fact he got out early and is you know, and his rap lyrics promoting it, he's clearly just gone right back into, you know, criminality. You know, your oppressor will let this Turkish man out, you know, on what, good behavior. He got a life sentence, which I'm pretty sure is 25 years. He got out in 14. So he had a minimum of 14 years. And because, you know, this Jake Fari, he don't look like us. He looks like them. He's Turkish, so he looks more like them than he looks like a black man. He gets let out in 14 years. He gets let out, and he's still a violent criminal with anger issues and this, that, and the third. But it's apparently it's what, Marcus Rashford's fault. It's Theo Johnson's fault. Where's the calls for the whoever the hell is involved in letting him out? Where is the call? Where, you know, why isn't this titled, you know, drill rapper freed by the whatever institution locked him up? Unmasked as a cold-blooded unaliver. Why isn't it that? Because he wasn't a black man that freed him. A black man wasn't involved in freeing him, so you know, that's, you know, the oppressor that freed him, that's fine. You know, he's doing his job. But Theo isn't doing his job. Theo's promoting a cold-blooded unaliver. Marcus Rashford isn't simply a celebrity who anybody asks for a photo with him. He's you know, he's promoting a cold-blooded unaliver. Like, what is we talking about?
in self-defense and didn't mean to kill the gentle giant Jimmy.
When they was at trial, this oppressor broke down crying and said that he did it in self-defense. He broke down crying and tried to play to the sympathy of, you know, to the sympathy of the oppressor, because of course, you know, he has sympathy to those who are of a fairer complexion. You don't have no sympathy to if you got dark skin, you ain't getting it. You could break down crying and roll on the floor and sob. You ain't getting no sympathy. But, you know, of course, this oppressor, Jake Fari, is trying to play on, you know, the fact that he knows that he ain't gonna get treated like a black man would get treated. He gonna play on that.
But the jury saw through his lies and the wannabe rapper was found guilty of murder following a 2-week trial. Despite his crimes, a parole board ruled in May 2023 that he could be released, with the thug being let back onto the streets only 2 months later. The panel said Fari was able to be let out despite a risk assessment stating his likelihood of reoffending came from a willingness to use violence and carry weapons.
So they're saying he was let out despite a risk assessment. They're saying what?
Reoffending came from a willingness to use violence and carry weapons from a willingness to... The panel said Fari was able to be let out despite a risk assessment stating his likelihood of reoffending came from a willingness to use...
A risk assessment saying that he has a likelihood of reoffending, meaning, and if your offense is unaliving somebody, what they're saying is he has a likelihood of unaliving somebody else, of re-offending. His offense was the unaliving of this young, this Jimmy Mizza. So if they say that a risk assessment said that he has a likelihood of re-offending, then why on earth are they letting him out? Why does he get let out? They're literally saying, okay, he's likely to do it again, so let's let him out. Like, what is it? What the hell? What kind of logic is that? Where is the name of the not prosecutor, the name of the whoever is involved in deciding who gets let out of prison? Where is his name in this? Where is his name in this at all?
Use violence and carry weapons.
And it said he's likely to reoffend because of his use of violence and of carrying of weapons.
They also noted his difficulties managing anger.
And difficulty managing anger. So they know this man is going to go out and unalive somebody else, but they let him out. They let him out in 14 years after getting a life sentence. Meanwhile, a black man will stay and rot in the prison. A black man will face the death penalty. If we go back to Marcellus Williams, a black man will face the death penalty for a crime that is known that he didn't commit. It's known that he didn't commit that crime. They gave a brother in I forget the state, Marcellus Williams. I think it was what state was that? Tennessee or something, or Mississippi. I think it was a southern state, but they unalived this brother, knowing that he was innocent, after keeping him in prison for I think it was over 40 years. But Jake Fari, this man who clearly has anger problems and a propensity to use violence and weapons, gets let out in 14. Where's the press? Where's the press for that?
And emotions. Just earlier this month, 14-year-old Kellyan Basaka, an aspiring drill rapper known as Gripper.
And they go into more people who are unalived and more drill rappers, but like where's the press? Where's the press for the institution to let him out? So let's get back to Rashford, how they're trying to link Rashford to this criminal, this violent criminal who has a high chance of reoffending. All right, let's get this. So Marcus Rashford, he posted this on his Instagram story, saying he's being contacted today by a tabloid informing him that they plan to publish a photo with him with a rapper apparently taken over a year ago. So they dug up this photo from over a year ago, and they found him and Rashford together. And he says, I want to make it clear, I have never seen this photo. I do not know this person, and I'm not friends with him. Marcus Rashford has nothing to do with this individual. He said, like most footballers, if someone asks for a photo with me, I will never refuse because I'm obviously not able to do a background check on every individual that asks me for a photo. Can I please urge the tabloids, rather than focusing on me, to use their platforms to help raise positive awareness on the many charities and individuals that work daily throughout the UK to tackle knife crime, to prevent more families suffering tragic loss. And then he says, my deepest sympathy towards the family of Jimmy Mizzen. So again, like most footballers, he was asked for a photo and said, sure, let's get a photo, sure. You know how many times Marcus Rashford is asked for a photo? He's one of the most famous footballers, on the earth now, on the planet now, alive. Of course, he's going to be asked for thousands, like hundreds of photos daily. He can't do a background check on everybody. Like you wouldn't post this picture if it was a picture with this 10 guy and he asked Lionel Messi for a photo. Would the tabloids post that up and try and link them together? If it was Cristiano Ronaldo, would they do that? If it was who else? Some heathen. Let me think. If it was Harry Kane, would they do that? No. But because it's a black man, they will absolutely do that. They will absolutely do that. If it was anybody else, the public would say, well, why are you posting a picture? Like, why? That doesn't even make sense. You post a picture with a footballer. Like that's like if this guy got a photo with who's some musical celebrity. with let me think, with Ed Sheeran. He had a photo with Ed Sheeran, and you know, would they post that picture up? No, because it doesn't make sense. But it's a black man, so you know, when it comes to crime, or if this person is a convicted criminal and he has a photo with a black man, you had to dig that up. You had to absolutely dig that up and try and spin it in some, you know, there's some crazy story that makes no sense. Even what they're saying with the BBC, like I could kind of get what they're saying, but if you're gonna criticize the BBC, then you absolutely have to, like, publicly by name, then you're gonna have to criticize, you know, Spotify and YouTube and all these other platforms that allow music. You're gonna have to criticize the institution that let this criminal out after 14 years, knowing that he's likely to reoffend. You can't do one and not the other. That's what a hypocrite is. You're an absolute hypocrite. And let me get this verse in the Bible. I stumbled upon this verse and it just reminded this is exactly what the situation is. All right, Proverbs 10 and verse 18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and that is your oppressor. Your oppressor is so sly and slimy in saying that he'll say, well, you know, the BBC needs to do better to you know who it is they're promoting, because now he's earning money off you know, the BBC and this, that, and the third. He's allowed to earn money and have a music career because they let him out of prison. But where's the accountability for them? They're hiding hatred with lying lips. That's what they're doing. To the point where it would seem to you like, I'm thinking, okay, that could be reasonable. But then I'm thinking, well, why aren't they calling out these other people? Because they don't have hatred to those other people. They have hatred to Theo Johnson. That's who they hate. They have hatred to Marcus Rashford. That is who they hate. But they will use their lying lips and twist, and that oppressor is so damn slimy. Like so damn slimy. The way he will twist, and like even how he said, like we literally just played the clip of how this criminal was on the BBC and the rap that he did that had nothing to do with promoting criminality. And then right after that, he says, you know, despite both, you know, the BBC promoted him as a exceptional talent or something like that, despite lyrics bragging about, like that makes it seem as if he said those lyrics on the BBC, which if you read further on in the article, BBC responded and said, okay, well, these lyrics that you presented to us, none of this was featured in anything to do with the BBC. But they spin it because they hate black people, and they will use their lying lips to hide their hatred. And let's read on. And he that uttereth a slander is a fool. What they're trying to do to Marcus Rashford is absolute slander. It's absolute slander, and because they hate him. Your oppressor is a fool. Because anybody with a shred of common sense knows that this doesn't make sense. Like, what is we even talking about? A photo? Like, if it was a photo and they knew each other and there was other interactions, and even there's photo and video, like take Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. There's not only photos, multiple photos with them together, but videos of them together talking like they was best friends. And then Trump lies about it and says that he never liked Epstein. You know, it is very clear with video evidence, photo evidence that they had some relationship. They got along. I think he very likely on that Epstein list. But where's the press for Trump? But they'll try and put this photo up with Rashford and this criminal as if there's some link. He that uttereth a slander is a fool. All right, I'm gonna share this other article, because this ain't the first time that Rashford is they're trying to slander Rashford, or it's just a real disproportionate level of hatred towards Rashford for some reason. One of the very few black players on Manchester United. There just seems to be a very disproportionate level of criticism, as they would call it. I call it racism. I call it what it is. There's a lot of criticism towards Rashford. There's a lot of racism towards Rashford, man. So let's read this article. It says, if Marcus Rashford is a lightning rod for criticism and always has been, the question is why? Right? And this was at a time where there was some controversy about him leaving Manchester United and moving on, potentially maybe, I think, leaving football or something like that. And there's just so much criticism towards Rashford. All right, it says, at the moment, everyone's talking about him because Manchester United's new manager, Ruben Amorim, left him out of his squad for Sunday's derby. And then Rashford came out and said he's ready for the next steps in his career. So, he might be ready to move on to football or move on to a different team or whatever, but there's so much criticism and hatred towards him. It says, but when you take a step back from his current situation and uncertain future at Old Trafford, it does feel like he's all been judged differently to most other players, starting with the reaction to his form on the pitch. Part of that is essentially just because of who he is, and that's absolutely right. It's because of who he is. It's because he's the descendant of the slaves, and he ain't the descendant of Harry Kane. He ain't in a family tree. He ain't the descendant of he ain't cousins with Ed Sheeran. He ain't in the same family as whatever old white player that they have. But this Marcus Rashford is Manchester born and plays for Manchester United. Like, he should be promoted the same way they would promote a white player who, if he was from Manchester born and raised and played for Manchester United, they put everything behind him. And this also brings me back to a video ISUPK. To shout out to Captain Mashak for this outstanding video that, of course, you could find on the ISUPK UK page. Make sure y'all want to watch this video. This is definitely a good video to watch if if you like anything to do with soccer, or you just want to break down on sports in the UK. Captain Mashak did an outstanding video interview, on this. It's titled, "Is Racism Holding Back Manchester United?" You can find that on the ISUPK UK page. All right, so let's see what Captain Mashak had to say about it. It brings me down into this exact story today, how Marcus Rashford is, for some reason, he's a lightning rod for criticism. Well, you just replace that criticism with racism. He's a lightning rod for racism. And I wonder why that is. All right. Hey, shalom and shout out to Trooper Gabar Ya Allah. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabarakatah. All right, let's see what Captain Mashak has to say.
Manchester United perpetuated what is a problem in England and English football, which is racism. Nobody like to talk about it. The best players in England are not white. Right. And at that time on Manchester United team, Dwight York and Andy Cole was hands down the two best strikers in the world. Right. I'm not talking about in England. They took apart Juventus with Zidane. Zidane was on that team. Inzaghi was on that team. And you had two little sons of slaves from the Caribbean wrecking havoc. And Zidane, they made Bayern Munich. They beat Bayern Munich in Munich. Kafur and Oliver Kahn on the ground like this, banging the ground, crying. And it's these young black boys who run in the route. And you're seeing the same thing happening now with Rashford, where he's obvious.
So, when it comes to football, it's a known, it's known that when it comes to black and Hispanic players, like, we just play better than them. There's an absolute level. Like when it comes to Rashford, Rashford is one of the best players in Man United, but he faces some of the the highest level of criticism. And why is that? Because Manchester United and every other team and British culture as a whole and football culture, like, football and racism go hand in hand. They go absolutely hand in hand. You have plenty of times where they'll chant racist slurs, or they'll throw a banana, like a inflatable banana on the pitch, or just throw a banana peel on the pitch to say as if the black players are monkeys and this, that, and the third. Like, that thing happens very commonly in British football, because football and racism, really, your oppressor and racism, that's what it is. Because, of course, your oppressors are very heavy football fans. Your oppressor and racism go hand in hand. So any chance, any opportunity they get to hate you or to criticize you, to be racist against you, they will take it and they will run with it. They will absolutely run with it.
Bayern Munich in Munich. Kafur and Oliver Kahn on the ground like this, banging the ground, crying. And it's these young black boys who run in the route. And you're seeing the same thing happening now with Rashford, where he's obviously the best player on Manchester United team. I don't care what nobody say. He has the most talent, the most skill, he's the fastest, and above all, he's homegrown. He's homegrown. He's from Manchester. He loves Manchester. He plays for Manchester. If Rashford was white, like Michael Owen, or Joe Cole, or one of them homegrown boys, they would get behind him and put all kind of things behind him. But
And just as Captain Meshach said, like if he was one of these white players, if Marcus Rashford was some white man who was born and raised in Manchester and went to play for the Manchester United team at such a high level, he would be promoted and pushed, and even these oppressors which do stuff in their own personal life, which stirs controversy, they don't get as much controversial publication as Marcus Rashford does. They don't get the same level of, they don't get the same, they're not lightning rods for criticism, as that person said in the article. They wouldn't have the same level of criticism for Michael Owen or Joe Cole. But Rashford, yeah, he might be the best player on the team, but if you're a white person, there's just something about him I can't stand. It's just something about him. I don't know what it is, but it's just something about that player that I can't stand. It's because you're racist. It's because you're absolutely racist. That's why you just can't stand Rashford. This player.
behind him. But because he's not the son of one of these white people, they treat him like he's filth when he's going through a rough patch. As if,
Give me 1 second. Of course, the Nation wants to play up now. Yeah. You need to hold YouTube accountable. Hold YouTube accountable because they're slowing my damn video down. Hold them accountable. Run this back. Select it.
White people, they treat him like he's filth when he's going through a rough patch. As if, when them white players go through rough patches, they, Gascoigne was a drunk, and they got behind him. Robbie Fowler used to play for Liverpool. They called him a crackhead. He used to score and go down the line and sniff the line to mock them, saying he's a cokehead. And they got behind them and put them on the teams. Rashford going through a little hard time, all kind of bad talk in the boy.
Right. So you have these players, these white players that are drunks and cokeheads and making gestures to what's the word? To stand there and say, yeah, I am a cokehead, but ha 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 ha. And they still get behind those players. When it comes to Rashford, they just can't keep Rashford's name out their mouth. They just can't. It's just something about him they don't like. It's just something about Rashford that they cannot stand. They just can't stand seeing Rashford on that pitch, just being, such a high level athlete and clearly better than the other players. They just can't stand it. But they will use him, and they use these black players to get anywhere close to the World Cup. They will use those black players to get close. Without any black players, England would not stand a chance. But you use these black players, and they play for England because they were born in England. The same way, some athlete in the Olympics might represent, the UK, but he's really, he's from the Caribbean. That's where he descends from. That's why he plays so good. That's why he runs so fast. Even in America, where of all the sprints, it's always some black man. It's always Jamaica and the U.S., but the U.S. is a black man. He's descendant of, the tribe of Judah. You have Benjamin and Judah is down there always taking the Olympics by storm. Even how they did I forget the gymnast sister, Gabby Douglas, how she did some move that was so at a high level, like such a skilled move that they banned it from the Olympics because nobody else could do it. That's how they treat blacks and Hispanics. Like they can't stand to see you be at such a high level above them. They have to put you down. They have to slander your name in the press. They have to ban moves that you do because no other oppressor can do them. They have to do that towards you because you could never have no self-esteem about yourself. As a black man or black woman, you could never have no self-worth. You could never, like, who are you? You could win, you know, prizes for the UK or prizes for England or prizes for, you know, America, but don't ever forget that we could still take away all your glory just like that. Your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
Gascoigne was a drunk. You know, when them white players go through rough patches, they, you know, Gascoigne was a drunk, and they got behind him. Robbie Fowler used to play for Liverpool. They called him a crackhead. He used to score and go down the line and sniff the line to mock them, saying he's a cokehead. And they got behind them and put them on the teams. Rashford going through a little hard time, all kind of bad talk in the boy. You know, he's better than Harry Kane. I don't care what Harry Kane has support. He has a whole team. They play the team around Harry Kane. Put Harry Kane where he has to actually run and do striker work. You see what happened? You saw the Euros. He was quiet. Church mouse. Church mouse. You need them players with them footworks. That Cole Palmer, I know he looked white, but you know he's black. His father's black, his grandfather is black. That's why he could play the way he played. The best players in England is not white. And if England want to better their chances, they need to do with their football what they did to their country. They went and got slaves and built the empire. This empire was built on slave money. You want the football teams to be great? Let the black and Hispanic players play, man. Let them come out there and play. So the problem here is not.
And with that, all I have to say is, listen, just you know, you trying to drag Marcus Rashford into a story that has nothing to do with him because he's black. Keep Marcus Rashford's name out of your mouth. Keep brothers' names and my sister's names out of your mouth. Because what? He that hideth hatred with lying lips and a slander is a fool. Y'all are absolute fools, man. Absolute fools. And the true people with wisdom, the people with God wisdom, who God chose, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we should be in charge and not you. We wouldn't have let what's his name, Jake Farry out of prison. We wouldn't have let him out of prison if we was in rulership. If we was in rulership, I don't think he would have made it to prison. If you unalive somebody, you know, the Bible says what the punishment for unaliving somebody is. You don't have the wisdom to rule this earth. Hand it over to us, man. Hand it over to the ISUPK and the commanding General Yohana. That's what you should do. All right. Hey, shalom to Officer Mariah Ali. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat. Shalom, other one. I'm just about to close out my show. That's so lucky. All right, but with that, you know, we up on the time. Make sure y'all tune in for the Monday law class taught by either, you know, Officer Mawasar, Officer Aria Allah. Make sure y'all tune in. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention, stay tuned, follow all ISUPK social media. You know what I'm saying? And with that, you know, Lord Allah, I'll see y'all Thursday. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham to all my brothers, and Yahweh Shema Allah Tham Hashem Yahweh Shai to all my sisters. All right? Shalom, brother.
I just float with it. Fuck what you did, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something, take a note with it. Dedicated my life, I took an oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do no switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me, do you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck with 4 collisions. Polls everywhere, but they ain't gon' vote dissing. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing.